Hello, InModias here. As many of you probably already know, I was votebotted this afternoon, and when it happened I got really upset. I found out, or I noticed the votebot attack immediately after I found out that TattooSkin72 had been suspended for a false DMCA. And immediately following my finding out about the votebot attack, I learned that InModiasWeTrust has now received a total of 22 DMCAs, and so I was really upset. I talked to Ruby on Skype, and they're just really pissed off, saying, God damn it, this, blah 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 that, and I think I even wrote down, "This is war." But after I got off of the computer, I was sitting there at the coffee shop, and I started laughing. Because I got to thinking about what this actually is. There was a time in history when if you decided that you didn't believe, or if you announced, rather, that you didn't believe in your country's religion, and in some places, of course, it still happens, the members of that religion would kill you. And slowly it got to be less and less. There was and there's still some campaigns of protesters and that kind of thing, and still the occasional, and I'm speaking of westernized countries now, there's still the occasional attack of an extremist, be it a terrorist attack or a shooting or murder, something like that. But generally not. Generally it's a lot more tame now. And what we see at this point here on YouTube is that these once so strong and powerful zealots have been reduced to throwing computer programs and paperwork at us. And they flagged edible napalm down, and he's louder and more subscribed to than ever. They hit me with the votebot, and here I am reaching out to to all of my subscribers, and if even half of them come and uprate my videos, they'll be even higher than they were before they were hit with the votebot. And as I say that because, as best I can tell, I was hit with my channel was hit with about 5,000 one-star votes, about 100 per video. And of course, I won't know the exact number until tomorrow when the statistics come in. And if I'm off by any, which I actually doubt, I'm pretty sure it's right around 5,000. But if I am off, I'll let you know. So I will, hopefully get a lot of support out of this. And heck, I might even gain a few new subscribers. And InModiasWeTrust has been hit, like I said, with 22 DMCAs, and he's more supported and more subscribed to, and he's getting more views on his videos than he has since he came to YouTube. So in essence, theists, when you do things like this, you're doing us a favor. Additionally, and this is the very essence, by the way, of the psychology of creationism and faith. In essence, you epitomize everything that you claim to stand against. In the past, when you murdered people, and I don't mean you specifically, but your religious predecessors, when they murdered people, were engaging in murder and killing, something that most of us, at least, would consider to be immoral. And on a much smaller scale, when you votebot somebody, or when you flag them, when you false flag, and I granted, there are times when it's reasonable to flag. I don't use the flag button myself, but there are times when it, I think some reasonable people would see it as a good time to flag. But when you false flag and votebot, that's engaging in dishonesty. And when you go as far as filing a false DMCA, you're actually breaking the law. You may never get caught, but you're committing a felony. because you can't argue your way out of a paper bag. These are the dying slaps at the doctor from a man on his deathbed who's just been told by the doctor that he's going to die. It's like being a Great Dane and looking down in humorous contempt as a teacup chihuahua bites at your ankles. We're at a point now where it's very obvious that we have won the argument. The theists have nothing else to say to us. They can't win the argument without cheating. And even when they cheat, they fail, because like I said, they wind up bringing us more support. And you may look good for a few minutes until people realize what you've done, but when those few minutes are over, even though we might be suffering a little bit until we get our network back up, that's my favorite moment of all. In that moment, you do more for us than you do more for our cause, or not even our cause, you do more for our side, for our non-belief, than we could ever do ourselves. Because in that moment, even if it's just one person, somebody out there, some Christian, some Muslim, some Fundi, has a seed of doubt sown. Because somewhere, 1 or 2 or 10 or 100 of them will think, well, if they're going to be this dishonest on YouTube, what do they have to hide? And in that moment, your fundamentalist buddy turns into my skeptic friend. It's been said before, but I just wanted to reiterate. To the theists out there, to those of you who can't argue, and especially to those of you who we thought could argue, not as well as us, of course, but who we thought actually had a point to make, but it turned out to be somebody else's point, thank you. Thank you for doing more for atheism and for atheists and for our channels here on YouTube than we could ever do for ourselves. This has been InModias. Thanks for watching.